Good afternoon, viewers around the globe. We give glory to Almighty God once again, and we thank you for being there for us. This is still our program, online marriage counseling, Christian marriage counseling. Today, I have my guest here, and I will introduce my guest to you. Ma, good afternoon, ma.
Good afternoon, sir.
What's your name, ma?
Mrs. Nwokike.
Okay, you are welcome, ma.
Thank you, sir.
Thank God that you are here this afternoon.
Thank you so much.
So on this program again, I think you have been watching us, ma.
Yes.
Okay, thank God. So this afternoon, we want to ask you, what is Christian marriage?
Okay. Christian marriage, for instance, marriage is an institution that God Himself established. So Christian marriage is the marriage that is instituted in the church under the fear of God.
Okay, thank you, ma. Okay, the Christian marriage is set by God under the fear of God, and then it is between who and who?
A man and a woman. A man and a woman.
One man, one vote.
One man, yes. One man, one woman. A man and a woman, yes.
A man and a woman.
Yes.
Thank you, ma.
Because of what we are seeing nowadays, when you go into the social media, you see cases of a man getting married to another man, or a woman getting married to another woman. But that is not a Christian marriage.
Okay.
Christian marriage must be a man and a woman. One man, one woman.
Okay, because in the Garden of Eden, God created Adam first.
Yes.
Later, from the bones of the ribs of Adam, He created the woman called Eve. So, thank you very much, man. I want to ask you another question about the Christ. How do we know that this person is my wife to be or my husband to be?
Okay. How do you know? You have to, because Christian marriage is instituted by God Himself. For you to know whether this person is your to-be spouse or to be your future husband or your future wife, you have to go back to your maker to ask Him. He's the only one that can reveal your own to you. Remember what happened when you mentioned Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden. God Himself made Adam to fall into a deep sleep. And from his rib, He created the woman, Eve. God took her, Eve, to the man and said, this is the bone of your bones. That means that for you to know that this particular person is your wife or your husband, you have to go back to your God and ask Him to reveal to you who your husband or your wife is.
Okay, thank you, ma. Nowadays, we see that courtship is essential, but people are no more having that courtship again. You just see a man and a woman now today. You see them, they have already got married. In Abuja here, we call it Abuja marriage, where you don't even know anything about this woman. Is it proper, ma?
That is why we're having a lot of issues now in marriages. For you to just, sometimes you see that they don't even inquire of the Lord. Inquiry from the Creator is very, very essential. And then the issue of courtship is very, very important too. Because this person you will be spending your lifetime with, you have to know what the person likes and what he doesn't like. You have to know the roots, the foundation of the person you want to get married with. Because this, at the end of the day, will help you to have a good marriage and a happy marriage. So courtship should not be, I cannot overemphasize the importance of courtship in marriage. It is very, very important because it's a forum for the intending couple to do or to know themselves better. It's very, very important.
Okay, thank you, ma.
You're welcome.
Now, what are the roles of parents during the courtship? The roles of the parents.
The parents, majorly, is just encouragement. The roles will be more of encouragement because they are not the ones that are going into this marriage. Do you understand? They are not the ones that only just to pray along with their children, to encourage, to advise them, not to make mistakes. Because if care is not taken, if there is no proper guidance, the intending couple might fall morning bed. So their major role is just guidance, counseling, prayers, and advice
So
to the intending
after
couples.
the courtship, what next, ma? During the courtship, what are they going to do? During the courtship, are they going to be visiting one another? Are they going to, maybe they travel together, they sleep in the same room as Christians?
You don't give the devil the opportunity to use you. That is why it is very, very important in the time of courtship. If there should be any visiting, it should be done when the parents must be there. But most importantly, it's better advised that the intending couple should meet themselves in the church or in a public place.
Okay.
Because the issue of their knowing themselves, if you should come in, then they should there should be visiting, but the visiting must not be alone.
Okay.
Because the flesh is the flesh, and nobody should say the person is already standing, I can withstand it. When the flesh calls, you might not be able to withstand. So that is why we are being so careful, knowing fully well that sometimes you might feel that you are already standing, but you can still fall as human.
Okay, ma. Thank you, ma. I want to ask another question on this. What are those things that we should run away from during Christian courtship?
Okay.
You know, as a man or a woman, you understand, the first one is what you have just said, no visiting while alone. Maybe a man should go to the lady's house, maybe if she is living alone, so that they will not give. What are those things that we should run away from during courtship?
Okay, during the course of courtship, it is important, especially the man is supposed to be living alone, because for you to get married, it is advisable that you get your own apartment. Don't live in the family house, and you're talking of, that is personally the doctrine of my own church. You can't be in the family house and you're talking of getting married. You get your own apartment. Because you're in your own apartment and you're living alone, you must not invite your wife to be to your house. It is not accepted in Christian courtship.
No, that one. If the man is sick, can the lady come there alone to come and visit? Because we saw what happened in the Bible. The children of David.
Okay.
One pretended to be sick. After a while, without knowing that he had another thing in mind.
On no account, even though the man is sick, even though the man doesn't know how to cook, even though the man doesn't know how to clean house, on no account should the wife to be visit the husband to be alone. On no account. It's not allowed. Because we should not underrate the devices of the enemy. The enemy is very, very crafty. So that is why it's not allowed. For no matter the case, if the sister must visit the intending husband or the husband to be, she must go with another sister or any of her relations.
Okay.
So she must not be seen alone. And the issue of close contact, you know, when we talk of body chemistry, even though they are staying in an eatery, or they are staying, they went out together, even while they are in the church, there should not be that close sitting, touching body, touching. You understand what I mean? Touching themselves, because that the chemistry can be ignited, and the enemy can use it against them.
Okay. Thank you, ma. Now, I want to ask another question. What about the maturity? What is maturity in marriage? Maturity.
When we look at maturity in marriage, age plays a role in maturity. No matter how we want to say it, age plays a very important role in marriage. That is why sometimes you see people saying children marriage. So number one, for somebody to go into marriage, you must be mature. You must be an adult. At least from 18 above, you must be an adult for you to talk of going into marriage. Because maturity is very, very essential in marriage. It's maturity that can make you to handle issues. Because marriage is not as easy as we are seeing it. Marriage is not friendship. Do you understand? Marriage is not friendship. It takes a lot of things. It takes a lot of maturity. You have to adjust in issues like when there are issues like quarreling. It takes maturity for the man to handle it, even for the woman to handle it. I know you have been hearing of cases where a little issue in marriage, you hear the woman breaking TV, scattering the house, breaking things, fighting. If there is maturity in the first place, I don't think something like that should come in.
Oh, age plays, but is it the age alone, or what about the
Wisdom.
wisdom?
Wisdom. The Bible says that wisdom is the principal thing. In all you are getting, get wisdom and understanding. So that is why we are not, when we say Christian marriage, that was why I mentioned earlier that you cannot talk of marriage and you keep God aside. You pray, you ask God for wisdom for you to be able to handle what you are going into, because marriage is not a child's play.
Okay, let's look at the Ephesians chapter 4,
Okay.
verse 14 and 15, or verses 14 and 15, which says that we henceforth be no more children, tossed to and fro, and carried about with every wind of doctrine by the sleight of men, and cunning craftiness, whereby they lie in wait to deceive. But speaking the truth in love, may grow up into him in all things, which is the head, even Christ. Now, the question here now is, marriage is not for the boys and girls, not for the children. Which age, or what age do you think we can get married to one another?
When we are looking at adulthood in Nigeria, you talk of 18 and above.
18 and above.
Yes.
Oh,
18 and above.
18 and above. Okay, I want to ask another question, the personality differences.
Okay.
The personality differences. At times, you may like to eat popcorn, and then the other party may not like. During courtship, they're supposed to know all these things about the personality differences. So I want you to shed more light about personality differences, because they have different background.
Okay, in terms of personality differences, that is also where the maturity comes in. Because if the man is like maybe eating pounded yam and vegetable soup, and the woman likes ogbono and eba, during courtship she might not know everything about the man. Because there is no way, even if the courtship lasted for more than 6 months, there is no way you will have a perfect knowledge. That is why, remember, at wedlock you will be giving certificates. When you are just entering the school to learn, you will be issued certificate. That certificate is for you to know that you are matured. We have given you this certificate because we believe in you, that you are matured. That whatever you see in the course of this training, you'll be able to adjust positively. So in terms of that personality differences they are talking of, that is where the maturity plays an important role. If the man likes eating pounded yam and vegetable soup, while the woman prefers draw soup, and they can always marry all these personalities together. The woman can decide to cook the two soup if the money is there. If not, there is a way she can still do it. That the issue of sacrifice will now come in. Okay, daddy, let's eat this one this week. Next week, let's eat the other one. There will always be balance.
Okay, another question here is social status.
Okay.
There are ladies that are from very rich family, and there are ones that are from very low class family. Okay. How can we manage this issue in Christian marriage?
Okay, it still bounce back to the personality issue. But I don't think marriage has anything to do with socioeconomic status. I don't think it has anything to do with that, because these new people are coming to build their own family. So the issue of the girl coming from a very rich family and the man coming from a poor family doesn't have much role to play. If the girl is a child of God, she must be submissive, not caring where she comes from. She must be submissive, respectful, obedient, and take the husband as her king and build her own home.
I want to ask another question, ma,
Okay.
about psychological differences. No, our name. Let's say you are going to talk about the psychological and emotional
Okay.
differences. No, there are ladies that before they say anything like this, they will be crying, and then no, the man may not even be able to say anything. How do we now do this one together? Maybe I don't like a lady when you see a lady crying. So how do we now? I think you understand that question very well.
Okay. You know, apart from the courtship, most Pentecostal church, let me talk of even the Orthodox, apart from the issue of courtship, there is also what we call marriage counseling. Before the wedding, church conduct marriage counseling, some 3 months, it depends on the church, some 6 months. So these are some of the things that the church will always bring to the notice of the intending couple, that there are psychological emotional differences. When issues like that come up, the man will be like, what, is she a baby? What is happening? You understand? You're a full grown woman, but it should not be like that. The Bible said that the woman is the weaker vessel. What you have to do there is to call her to yourself. That is how they want the love to be played. So you are still studying. You know, I mentioned earlier that you are being given certificates because you are the church felt that you are mature. Do you understand? You're already mature. So that whatever you will see in the course of the marriage, you'll be able to handle it. God being by your side.
Now, the issue of the third party,
okay,
in the marriage, is it good?
No.
But nowadays, before you know it, you see them in the court now. You see them in the court of law. They are filing for divorce, this and that. You know that this thing is very rampant. Even in the church of God, pastors are divorcing their wives. Why the wives are divorcing them? Not only the members alone, even among the men of God.
Okay. From where you read in the book of Ephesians 4, you made mention of being mature, because some will be tossed up and down by doctrine. So if you are a child of God and have the word of God in you, you'll be able to differentiate when the doctrine is of God and when the doctrine is of man. Do you understand?
Yes.
Because God made it clear. God hates divorce. So whatever doctrine the humans now are bringing up to suit them should not come there. We are looking at Christian marriage. We're not just looking at marriage.
Yes, I'm hearing.
We're not just looking at marriage. We're looking at Christian marriage. And when we're looking at Christian marriage, it must be backed scripturally. So scripture is saying no to divorce. Even the issue of third party. For me, the issue of third party should not be there, because sometimes the advice might be given to you, and if you are not firm in the word of God, you might take the wrong step. So I advise every intending couple or couples already that whenever there are issues in the marriage, prayerfully sort it out between two of you. Prayerfully sort it out between two of you. Don't involve the third party. Some of us, any little thing in the marriage, you start reporting to parents, you start reporting to friends, you start reporting to pastors. Some of the pastors are also having issues. And if the pastor in question has been carried away by the doctrine of the day, they might end up giving you the advice that will suit them. So that is how whatever you want to do in marriage, you go back to the word.
Okay. Thank you, ma. The book of Romans chapter 12 verse 3 says, "For I say, through the grace given unto me, to every man that is among you, not to think of himself more highly than he ought to think, but to think soberly, according as God has dealt to every man the measure of faith." Now this one now can, because the husband is the head of the family, is it his only idea that can work in that family? So I am the head of the family. Yes, as Christ is the head of his church. when they are now quoting, so that anything that any idea from the wives is not acceptable. Is it all right?
It's not all right.
How?
The Bible says that two of you now have become one flesh. If two of you have become one flesh and you want to take over decision taking all alone, that means you are separating the flesh. The Bible have made you in marriage. The Bible have bring the husband and the wife together. So whatever you are doing should be done together. The decision, your finances, so everything should be done together. Though that should not make the woman to neglect the kingship of the husband. That the man is concurring to the word of God and say that the two has become one flesh now. Should not make the woman to do what? To neglect the kingship of the man. Because the man is the king of your life as a woman. And the Bible made it clear that you must be submissive to your king.
Yes.
You must be submissive to your king.
And
you,
too,
the husband,
you love
your wife. Do you know that if the man fails to love the wife, you cannot get anything from the Lord? According to the book of 1 Peter chapter 3.
Yes, thank you, man. God bless you. I want you to, what are your advice for the either the intending couples or people that their marriage is shaking? Know there are people now that their marriage are not all right. What are your opinion?
Okay. Do you know that? Though let me just say, but it's not like I don't have any statistical proof. But from what is going on and from ideas here and there, most of the challenges at home in marriage, when you look at it, apart from foundation, and maybe people have gone away from the way of the Lord, is linked to poverty. So my advice, whether it's intended couple or people that are already in marriage, is to do what? Find something to be doing. You know what the Bible said in the book of 1 Timothy 5:8, I think 5:8, where it says, anyone that cannot provide for the household is worse than an infidel.
Yeah.
You know, when we read that particular place, we assume that the Bible is talking to men alone. The Bible said anyone. So if you are a woman and you are not doing anything, you are not supporting your husband financially, most of the time the problem will be there. When the man cannot meet up with the responsibilities, and the Bible says you are the helpmeet, and you are not doing anything, you are not helping out financially, you are also an infidel. I'm advising, whether you are still going into marriage, you are not doing anything, it's not all about going to school. You can learn a trade. There are a lot of online businesses that are legitimate, that are legit.
Can you give us an example?
I don't want to go there now. That are legit. Do you understand? There are a lot of things you can do. You can learn crafts. There are a lot of things you can do as a woman. You can even start raising poultry farm around you. You sell your vegetables, you raise money to support your husband. Your husband is being stressed up, and that is why he's always quarreling, nagging. It creates problem in the home. But if apart from that, is why if even most of them will not even involve you in decision making in the first place.
She has nothing to offer.
What do you have to offer? Do you understand? And the men, please let us carry our women along. Let us love them. No matter you can advise them to do. You can help them by giving the finances, the ideas, build up your wife so that you enjoy your marriage. Our children, they need the best. The Bible says we are royal nation, we are peculiar people, we are the chosen generation, and the world is waiting for our manifestation. So we need to have money, we need to be comfortable, to take care of our spouses, to take care of ourselves, to take care of our children. We need to give our children the best so that they will be happy in our homes. Please, let's get something. Let's be busy. Let's forget about the issue of gossiping here and there as women. The Bible even said it. The young women, they should not be going up and down gossiping. They should engage themselves in something useful.
First Timothy chapter
Yes,
5.
and God will help us in Jesus' name.
Thank
God
you.
will make our home sweet.
Amen.
Because He is the one that instituted marriage. Whatever God's hand is in can never fail. God is not a failure. God is faithful. He can never go back on His word. And may our homes be blessed in Jesus'
Okay.
name.
Thank you very much. This is where we are going to come to an end today. We really thank you for making today to be a very good day for us. And then there are other people that are watching you. This is still Bishop Kehinde, the President All of Favor Evangelical Mission and presiding Bishop for Worldwide Anglican Church, Abuja Diocese. Our 100 years will be celebrated in America next year. We are inviting you. Your marriage must work again. Your marriage must work again.
Sure.
So, if this once again your name,
This is Nwokike. I'm a health educationist.
So, health educationist. So,
yes.
She knew what she was saying that time, and we thank you that you are a Christian. Thank you. That Lord will bless you. Thank you very much. We are in Abuja here today. Tomorrow we might invite you. Please give us that chance to invite you to talk to other people that their marriages are not working. There are topics every day, and we believe God can use you also as God has used our sister today. Thank you very much. God bless you. Bye.